All right, thank you, and welcome back to our press conference following the semifinal number 2 of the 2024 NCAA Men's Volleyball National Championship. We're joined by GCU's head coach Matt Worley and student athletes Camden Gianni and Nicholas Slight. We'll start with a statement from Coach, and then open it up for questions. When you're ready, Coach.
Yeah. I'm proud of our effort. I mean, we had the chances to kind of close that out early, and there was one ball that fell after a play that we made that I think really kind of popped our bubble, and we just really never recovered from that. So it's disappointing in that regard, but I think what these guys have been able to accomplish in their careers with GCU is something they should always hold on to and always be proud of, and I'm proud of them, and I think they've just kind of paved the way for some of these younger guys and built off of last year. And I mean, it's disappointing, but again, we can leave with our heads held high and eye contact, chins up, and again, just be proud of the product that we put out there tonight.
Vane Lopes here from Off the Block. 2 questions. First, for the players, 5th game was tight. You all rallied back. Long Beach has a 4-0 run in. What do you feel was the biggest difference in those final couple of plays that allowed Long Beach to come on out on top?
I think a big thing is, they have a great, like you said, the home court advantage is real. I mean, they had everyone yelling at us. I mean, once you get up big, kind of, you're not playing scared, but I think we just kind of are looking for someone to make the play sometimes, and I think just didn't take the moment instead of trying to pursue something. But, the guys took swings when they needed to. I mean, they were just getting some great touches, getting some phenomenal ups, and I can't take that away from them. So that was kind of our big thing, is just at the end of the game, it's either do or die, and I don't think we rolled over by any means, but I think what needed to be done should have been done a little bit earlier.
And then Coach asked you, that 3rd game, super tight, your team got a yellow card. Do you feel that yellow card affected your team at all?
Usually it actually helps us, and it didn't seem to be the case. I think it could have gone both ways. I think they got the retaliation side of it all, which was a little bit disappointing that it wasn't, awarded at least both ways. But no, I don't think that affected us. I mean, I got the crowd going to a point, but again, that's never really been something that's, turned us in a bad direction. And I think it was just we didn't handle the pressure in the situations that we needed to.
Talking about that point, because you mentioned the crowd, I mean, it felt like that kind of, turned the volume up on the neutral court. What did you see on that play, or on the interaction, I guess, there between your guy and their guy, and what did you kind of think of that moment, I guess?
Yeah, randomly enough, I'm an ice hockey fan, and I feel like the retaliation is always the guy that gets thrown in the box. So it's unfortunate for us that Jackson Hickman had to kind of wear that card, but in the end, it's part of the game, and our guys were excited, and emotions got the best of us. But I don't think it was anything that was out of character. It was just emotion and part of the game, and it wasn't. Again, we strive on being good people out there, and competitive sometimes brings out the worst. And I wouldn't say it was the worst by any means. It was just boys being boys. I don't think it was anything crossing the line.
Taryn Rodriguez, host of Set Point on iSports Sports Radio. Coach, obviously the loss stings, but what do you think was the message that was said in the locker room, and how motivating for the returning players is this, and can this be?
Yeah, the loss is definitely the hard part of it all, but we try so hard to speak on big picture, and something that was said, that this is not about volleyball, it's about the relationships and the respect and the memories, and I think that these guys are going to be able to hold on to things for their lifetime. No one thought that we would be able to get to this point except for the guys in that locker room, and that's something, again, that these guys should hold close to their hearts for a long time.
For Camden and Nicholas, you guys have invested years into this program. The place you leave it in now, and where you've raised it to, what does that mean to you guys, and walking away from this moment?
Yeah, obviously I've been here for a long time. 6 years is not the average college life, but everyone always believes that they can win a national championship, and where this program was when I was a high school senior, and to where it is now, I would go to battle with this team 10 times out of 10. And I have made some amazing relationships with everyone in that locker room. But just the experience of where Worley has put this program is something that I'm forever thankful for, and I think everyone in that locker room is as well.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Worley's taking chances on us, and without him taking a chance on the kids in the locker room, it doesn't happen without him. So, I mean, thanks to him and what he's all done, because whatever we've done is great, but it all comes back to you look at the guy at the head of the table, and he's done a great job with us, because I'm not one of the men I am today without him kind of kicking me around a little bit and showing me some ropes. And I don't think me coming in, I would have been the person I am. So I think I'm really grateful for that, and I think the guys all see that you can become a man at Grand Canyon. I think that's something really cool that a lot of places you can't say.
You guys are going to make me emotional.
Maddie. Oh, okay.
Coach, I mentioned the crowd thing. The sport's in an interesting spot. You can see the growth, but obviously part of how it's growing is that it tends to be one of the top couple of teams in the country is hosting the tournament and has a big home crowd. I'm just kind of curious for your thought coming in here. You knew that would be the case, but how does that affect things, and what are your thoughts on how that, I guess, shapes the way that the tournament goes to some extent?
Yeah, I definitely think there's an advantage to the home courts, but I mean, that again, it should not be the end all be all. I think the disappointing piece of this is, this was not a televised match on ESPN2 or ESPN, and neither was the first semifinal. And those were two just straight out dogfights. And every time the Olympics comes around, there's going to be a buzz around men's volleyball. And the sad piece is it goes away for 4 years, or it comes back for one day in the NCAA National Championship. I think that's the sad piece, that people aren't exposed to this sport enough. So the host site, to me, it's great that it's in Southern California because the draw is in Southern California. There's no question about that. But that was not the reason why we lost by any means. But it's definitely getting these guys on the map and showing off their athleticism and is something we need to do a better job with. But we appreciate everything that you guys do to help aid in that process.
Okay.
This is a compliment, but you guys seem like you're like the junkyard dogs of men's volleyball. You're too small and too spunky. And is that a fair assessment of your team, the way you guys play? And
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I can say, because I guess I'm not the conventional setter that you see every now and then. And you look at our middles, and I don't think there's a guy over 6'6" on our starting lineup. We're all just undersized and just have a lot of heart. And I think that's something that you can find in some people. And when you put all of them together, you just got to pack. And I think that's something that we just run with. And I think that was something we've done great all year. And we just bounce off each other for that. Because if one person knows that you can get something more out of someone, and I think that even drives that edge even more. And I think when someone, I guess, how do I say it, communicates that within the group, it's amazing. And I think that's what we relied on all year, is just knowing that, again, we're not one of those big name schools that originally was coming into the year, but we really try to show that we belong.
I do have something to say about that. I think that goes with the relationships that we all have. And when someone messes with our team or pokes the bear, that's something that we always talk about, and poking the bear. And our team is the first team to ever have each other's backs. You'll see someone kind of scream through the net or say some sly comment through the net, and we all got each other's back. So I think that kind of derives more than anything, because there's times in this season where other teams will start chirping a little bit, and our guys don't like that because that's our friend, and we're not going to let you kind of bully our friend. And so when there's teams that do that, we definitely feed on that. But then this year we've also learned that when teams don't do that, we can still play really well, and just playing hard and gritty and pulling the best out of each other, not because we have each other's back, but because we want to do it for each other. So I think that actually is where that all stems from. And like we were previously talking about, Worley has done a great job at really recruiting people that have really strong personalities, that want to have the best interests in their teammates. Yeah.
All right, and then Taryn in front.
And this is a question for Camden. You've been through a whirlwind when it comes to GCU with a lot going on. What is the one thing you will miss most about GCU, and what have been some of your favorite memories with the Lopes?
Jeez, 6 years into one comment.
He's gonna miss me the most, I think, probably.
Yeah, definitely the team. There's nothing that I would give up for the experience that I had with this program, whether it be the guys that I'm rooming with, the guys that I'm not rooming with, the guys that I'm not the closest with, but being able to appreciate everyone on the team and trust that they have my back, because I've gone through a lot in my life at GCU, and being okay being vulnerable, because that's something that really makes a man. Being okay with telling your closest friends, hey, this is what's going on, and them accepting it and having your back, because without that, family is really important to me. And so opening my arms to everyone around me is something that I've learned at my time at GCU. And I think those have been the most valuable memories, because without them, I wouldn't have the experience that I had.
This is for Nicholas and Camden, and a lot of teams haven't made it to this spot in an NCAA tournament. You two have made it the last 2 years and have established what is now a great reputation and legacy for Grand Canyon. What does it mean to you two to be names that helped establish that legacy?
You wanna go?
We were rivals in high school.
Yeah.
So seeing him walk through the door of Chick-fil-A the first time that I knew that he was getting recruited to GCU was something that obviously a familiar face helps. But you want to have people in the gym that have the same goal and want to be able to work hard, because you're not going to get people that want to do this, want to do both. You're going to have people that want to talk, and you have some people that want to do the hard work. But having a common goal is something that Worley has been preaching throughout his whole time here and my time here. So having people like Nick have my back is something super important, because you can go to anyone on the team with anything that's going on in your life, relationship, family, volleyball, anything. No one's going to take it personal. So being able to have people in the gym every single day that want the best out of you is something that is super important to both of us. And Nick
Yeah,
will probably
I mean,
talk about that.
Like I said, I remember getting recruited to Grand Canyon, and I was like, oh, Camden's there. And I was like, I also had Christian Janke and a couple other San Diego guys that I don't ever want to admit that I looked up to him, but I was like, this guy's he's really something cool. And I think just the brotherhood that the upperclassman does of bringing kids in right away. Like, I think the first week you get there, everyone just hangs out with the seniors just to get to know them. And it's something that we try to establish since being the older guys. I mean, you've been old for a while, but it was my senior year. So it was like, okay, like, how can I give?
Like 3 years ago.
I was like, how can I give back? And I think that's something that when you realize what the sport's done for you and being able to give back not only to your team, but even like the fans, because like our fans are great, and I think everyone supports us. And at the end of the day, I don't think they get enough thanks, and we're super grateful for it. And I think everyone in that gym and tonight saw that, like, we love it. Like, and I think we love everything that's happened to us. And I wouldn't, like I said, change it for a thing, like change it for the world.
Did you pull back your sets from Camden early on Saturday?
You know, maybe a little bit.
All right, thank you guys. Congratulations on a tremendous season.
Thank you.